Hey, what's up, guys? Drew here over at RevHiker Outdoors, and as promised, I'm doing some more reviews, doing some more videos. This is all stuff that I used quite extensively, so none of this stuff is like stuff that was backyard reviewed, I guess you could say. It's all been put through the mill, and today I'm going to be reviewing these Keen. I think they're called the Kovens. So it's Koven. So anyway, stick around. We're going to get into these. I used these on my recent elk trip, my hunting trip, and a bunch of other stuff. So stick around. All right, guys. So we're reviewing these Keen boots today. Okay, now these are the Koven mids. You can see, they're not brand new. They've been used. Actually, they're pretty dirty right now. But anyway, I wanted to just talk about these a little bit. I had a different set of boots picked out for my trip, my hunting trip that I used when I went to Colorado to visit my mom in August. And I did a bunch of hiking and I did a lot of scouting in them. I put on like 18 miles in a day, and those were a pair of Columbia boots. And I liked them. I got one little hot spot on the back of my heel at about mile 15, but I fixed it with some tape and it was good to go. It never blistered, it just got hot. Then I was at Bass Pro, and these things were on clearance, and these were normally like $150 pair of boots, and I think I ended up picking them up for like $70. So, I kind of couldn't pass it up. Obviously I wanted to wear them before I decided if I was going to take them out west. So the first time I wore them was deer hunting, and I had to walk through about a half mile of fields and then another half mile of woods or so to get to my stand, and most of it was uphill. But it was really, really wet. This was during bow season, and no snow or anything, but it had rained the night before, and I was going into the dark, and the grass was just soaked. And in my experience, that wet, tall grass that you go through will get you like wetter than walking through puddles. It seems like if they can hold up to that, they can hold up to nearly anything. So I went hunting that day. It was maybe I think it was like 36 degrees, 37 degrees, so it wasn't super cold. But I didn't have heavy socks on. I just had my normal thinner wool socks with these, and I trucked these right through all of that wet grass and everything, and I stayed bone dry. And I was like, man, this is great. The other thing I like about the Keens is it's got a pretty wide toe box. I've got a wide foot, so I usually buy wide shoes. The only size they had was a little bit bigger than what I normally wear. I'm normally like a 12. These are a 13, and they fit just right. There's a little extra room in them, but I like to be able to put a heavier sock on. So with a heavy sock, they're like perfect. Couple things I really like about it. I loved the waterproof of these because I took them hunting in bow season probably half a dozen times. And they worked great. Even with a load on my back, when I got my deer with the bow this year, I packed it out with this Kuiu pack, which I love, and I will be doing a review on that. So I had all that weight on my back, and I hiked out, my rifle, all my other stuff. These things were super comfortable. And one thing I really liked about these is I didn't have to break them in. They were just comfortable right off the bat. So long story short, I decided to take them to Colorado, and I put on miles and miles and miles and miles on these things, and they were absolute champions. I did 2 days of scouting before the season started, through all kinds of rocky, hard terrain, went through snow, went through ice, went through water, did all kinds of stuff with these, and they were absolutely flawless up until like the last day. The last day, I was in snow basically all day, and I'd gone through a bunch of water. I think we put on, I think it was the third day. We were at close to 10 miles that day, and I felt like a little bit, I felt like a little bit of water here and I think here. And when I took my boots off at the end of the day, I did end up having a little bit of wetness there. So the waterproof, although it was really good in the beginning, I don't know, maybe they just need to be sprayed. But I wasn't particularly happy with that. And what made me angry is that the boots were incredibly comfortable, really grippy, and they had some great features. Like these laces are not just like straight laces. They have like this weave in them. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's kind of like, I don't know, they're like lumpy. And when you tie them, since they're lumpy and they're not straight, they don't just like slip out. These things stay tied. You tie them, they're tied. They're not coming untied. I love that. And I love these little hooks up at the top. They lock the laces in. So you get them the right tightness, you lock it in there, and then you can tie it without having to worry about keeping tension on it. So I really liked that. Very useful loop in the back for pulling them on. I liked everything about it, and it bothered me so much that a little bit of water got in, because everything else about these boots is perfect. Now I'm not going to stop using them. I'm using them like crazy here. It's winter time. I'm tromping through snow. I'm getting firewood. I'm doing all that stuff with them, and they're great. But that little bit of water kind of bothered me, and it was both of them. So I don't think it was just a freak thing. I just think maybe their liner, the Keen Dry waterproof liner that they use, maybe isn't the best. Like I said, with some spray, I'm pretty sure I could remedy that. But it was like the black eye on would have been an otherwise like nearly perfect review, because I really, really like these things. I put a ton of miles on them before I went to Colorado. I put a ton of miles on them in Colorado in temps from single digits up into the 50s at elevations from anywhere from 10 to 12,000 feet. They were super comfortable. They did a great job. I had just enough room to put a toe warmer on top of my sock and put it in here without it crunching me. So really like these boots. But I was disappointed about the waterproofing. So otherwise, great boot. I'll still use it. I'm just going to spray the snot out of them. I'll put 2 or 3 coats up on the front here and use them. But I really like them. They have great traction. I've done a lot of stuff with them. I'll continue to use them, but just beware if you do decide, hey, I want to go buy these things. Keen might not have the best waterproof lining. Maybe I had an isolated experience. Honestly, I haven't researched it because I just don't care. I mean, but that's how it is. So anyway, guys, I'd say that'll probably wrap it up. Really comfortable boot. No break-in period, stiff enough sole to carry pretty heavy loads, but not stiff to where it like rubs your heel ever. Nice wide toe box if that's what you're looking for. I hate narrow shoes. Really like these laces, how they do them, and these little lockers. Everything about them is great, minus the thing. And the waterproof was perfect for a long time, but after many miles, it kind of gave up the ghost. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. As always, God bless. Don't forget to thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe. And I will catch you next time. So, video's over. I want to do a quick encouraging word with you guys. I just want to, this one goes out, how corny is that? This little encouraging word is kind of for people who, maybe you had a relationship with the Lord at one point, but you've kind of fallen away, you've kind of walked away, you've strayed pretty far. I just want you to know that you can always come back. You don't have to be ashamed. You can come back to the Lord, and He'll be waiting there with open arms. The parable of the prodigal son shows us that Jesus is always waiting. And as soon as you make that turn in your mind, decide to want to go back, He comes running to meet you. So I just want to encourage you guys, if maybe you've been kind of faltering in your faith, you've been having a tough time, I want to encourage you to just come back, and the Lord will be there. So God bless you guys. I hope that encouraged somebody. Talk to you later.